Welcome, this is Scott from My Life's Reward. I wanted to share with you the equipment that I've used to take my GoPro 7 and make it waterproof, whether I'm paddling or out on a quad when it's downpouring or some other outdoor thing where it really doesn't matter as long as you have some way to carry the stuff, like with a canoe or a kayak or a quad or a vehicle or something else that might be outdoors. You probably wouldn't want to carry this if, let's say, you were backpacking or doing some sort of a sport that required you to carry the equipment. It's a little heavy. The idea with this setup is you set it up and then you forget about it. You put a large micro SD card in there, like a 256 gigabyte or 512 gigabyte. You can have the camera set up for 4K and you just turn it on, frame it in, and just walk away and not worry about it for virtually the rest of the day. Now, I do from time to time check on it and make sure that it's still working. I do have the tone set up on the camera so that if it turns off, it does the beep, beep, beep. So if I hear that, I know something went wrong, so I can go fix it. This photo is an overview of all of the equipment that I use to build this waterproof solution, and I'm going to go through and itemize one by one. My experience has been that a GoPro 7 works the best for me. Now, I only have a 6, a 7, and a 12. The 6 isn't as good as the 7, that's why I use the 7, but I do have a GoPro 6. And I have a 12. I have tried using the 12 with this method, but the 12 overheats when it's in the plastic case, and it just doesn't work. It's just not a good, reliable solution. So I use the 7, I set the video for 4K widescreen. What I am losing by not using the 12 is I can't shoot 8x7, so I can frame it in better if I have the tilt wrong or something, and the horizon lock. Other than that, the 7 seems to do a good job for me, so I'll use that until I have some other solution for maybe a newer camera later. I start out with a Plano waterproof box. I have 2 carabiners hooked to some paracord, so I can clip it to some other paracord that might be hanging in the canoe, or I can clip it to something on the quad if I want to use it for that. To keep the GoPro 7 dry, you're going to need a case like this to allow you to keep the door off for access to the USB-C port, because you're going to need that in order to plug into the external battery bank. What you're seeing here pictured is a sub-TIG waterproof case, and the cable in the lower left corner is the one that we're going to use. We're going to cut that, and I will show you a connector that we can put back on once it goes through the hole that we're going to drill inside the case. Now, this sub-TIG does have an external battery option, and you can see that here in this picture, but this battery only lasts maybe 2 hours. And I'm really going for something that lasts the whole day, so I don't have to worry about changing out batteries and worrying about this thing stopping and losing video footage of a trip or something like that. This gland kit I got off of Amazon. It was relatively cheap at $16, and I have additional ones to use for other projects. After we drill the hole in the side of the box, use one of the gland fittings. We cut the connector off of the cable that was shown with the waterproof case for the GoPro 7, and we string it through the gland, tighten that pressure fitting up, and then string it through, make sure the wire is strung through, and then we would put the connector that you're seeing circled. These come as a set, but we'd use the one that's circled and put that on the end that we cut, so that that can be plugged into the external battery bank. The battery bank that I've had great luck with is pictured here, and the connectors are in the end here. A couple of different kind of connectors, and then you can see what this looks like on Amazon and the cost. This battery bank lasts the whole day. I have a 512 gigabyte micro SD card in the GoPro 7. I have it on 4K, and it just lasts the whole day. with no problems. Use whatever mount you'd like. In this case, I'm using the clamp that you see here, and I'm going to clamp it on the front of my canoe, but it could be just any mount that mounts on a quad or a vehicle or whatever. The whole thing is going to be waterproof, so it doesn't matter if it gets wet, doesn't matter if it goes underwater. Also, because the wire is connected to the waterproof case that the GoPro is surrounded by, and then it goes into the little box, and that's also connected through the gland. It's almost like a tether, so that if your camera does pop off the front of the canoe and goes in the water, the wire itself can be used to retrieve it. And this is what the setup looks like on the front of my canoe. You can see the carabiners are connecting to the little paracords that I have looped there, the clamps on the front. The whole thing can go in the water and it doesn't matter. Everything is protected. So with that, I want to thank you for stopping by the channel and checking this video out. Until next week, take care.